dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. LKLP has always provided transportation to folks in eastern Kentucky, but now they are partnering with the city of Hazzard to hopefully improve it. WYMT's Lauren McCord explains.
Like most large cities, you can hop on and off the bus and get where you need to be in just minutes.
And we all know that public transportation is one of the things that improves our quality of life.
But currently right now in Hazzard, you have to call 3 days in advance if you need a ride.
People have to call in to our call center here in Hazzard and schedule a pickup and drop off.
Now LKLP has partnered with the city of Hazzard to make public transportation more accessible.
We're really excited to be offering a free in-town route.
Whether you need to run some errands,
people want to go take care of personal needs. They want to go to Walmart, they want to go to the grocery, they want to go to the bank,
or simply go back and forth to your job.
They also have needs to be able to go to and from work.
For the next 3 months, you can hop on and off the LKLP buses with no charge.
And so what we're trying to identify is if there was a dedicated route here in the city of Hazzard, would people utilize public transportation more often?
Because helping improve the quality of life for citizens.
Currently, people are walking to and from, and we don't want people to be walking unless that's what they want to do.
Is what they do best. In Perry County, Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
The pilot period for these routes will begin July 8th.
It's nice to see those drier conditions return today and even those sunny skies. Good news is we'll see that continue as we head into the next few days. But we saw a few clouds earlier this morning. You'll notice on our UVA-wise camera, but those have cleared out pretty quickly. We've just seen plenty of sunshine still hanging on to a few of those clouds. Looking over into Jackson right now, a few clouds over there, but you're seeing mostly sunny skies. Temperatures right near 80 degrees. Those dew points in the lower 60s. Not feeling too muggy out there. It's actually feeling pretty good. Feels like 81. Satellite and radar shows those clouds getting out of here. Maybe a few rain chances earlier today, right around that border of Kentucky into Virginia, but the rest of us have been dry. And there's that clean sweep on pinpoint Doppler that I know we have all been waiting for. Good news is we'll see this continue as we head into the next few days. Temperatures into the lower 80s across much of our area. You see those upper 70s looking over into Pikeville, Logan, West Virginia, and even 77 over into Wise, Virginia as well. We're going to see those temperatures on the rise over the next few days, with those drier weather conditions return as well and continue. Plenty of sunshine also returns into the forecast. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve.
All right, thank you, Paige. Studies show nearly 47% of Kentucky women will be sexually assaulted in their lifetime. Today, a documentary centered around the large number of untested rape kits was shown at the Mountain Arts Center in Prestonsburg. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked with officials who say the first step to justice is starting the conversation.
Every 2 minutes in the United States, someone is sexually assaulted.
Nearly 47% of Kentucky women will experience sexual assault in their lifetime.
With these alarming statistics come a high number of rape kits used every day.
It doesn't need to just happen in Frankfort or in Lexington or Louisville. We need to support our smaller communities.
Gretchen Hunt with the Attorney General's office says a large number of rape kits sit untested in police department and crime lab storage facilities across the country.
I'm glad to say that today we are one of just a few states who has cleared the backlog.
Now many prosecutions, including that of serial offenders, are popping up across the state.
1 in 2 women will be a victim of sexual violence in their lifetime. That doesn't mean that 1 in 2 men commit crimes of sexual violence.
Heather Green with Mountain Comprehensive Care Center says through events like showing the I Am Evidence documentary at the Mountain Arts Center in Prestonsburg, many can find help here in the mountains.
People to understand and know the work that's being done, but also be the voice for survivors.
Because the first step is starting the conversation.
That it's okay to talk about it, that we're here to help you, and that our community is doing something about it.
In Floyd County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
In 2019, Kentucky legislators passed a law requiring state police to establish a rape kit tracking system by July 1st of next year. The system will include a portal for survivors to check the status of their kits anonymously. Comedian Bill Cosby is asking a judge to toss out his sexual assault conviction in Pennsylvania. His attorneys filed that appeal today. They say the testimony by his victim, Andrea Constand, was different from statements by 5 other accusers who testified in his trial. The appeal also says Cosby's civil deposition, where he admitted giving sedatives to women in the 1970s, should not have been allowed in the trial. The attorneys also say Pennsylvania had agreed to never prosecute Cosby for what he said in that deposition. The 81-year-old comedian was convicted last year, and he's now serving a 3 to 10-year sentence. The First Lady of the United States spokeswoman will be the next White House press secretary and communications director. Melania Trump made the announcement earlier today. Stephanie Grisham was the communications director for the First Lady for the last 2 years. Grisham will be assuming the roles formerly held by Bill Shine, who departed as White House communications director in March, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who has said her last day is Friday. Grisham will be accompanying the president in her new capacity on his trip to Japan and Korea this week. Congress is hoping to pass a multi-billion-dollar humanitarian aid package for the border ahead of the July recess. Democrats want the package to include stricter standards for the health and safety of migrants in custody following reports of children at a facility in Clint, Texas, lacking food and basic supplies such as soap. Health and Human Services officials tell CBS News 249 children were moved out of that facility, while another 100 children were moved out but are now back.
What we want to make sure is that when we provide the funding, that this cruel treatment of children at the border comes to an end.
Today, the head of Customs and Border Protection, Acting Commissioner John Sanders, said he is resigning. Without this supplemental funding package, agencies say they will run out of money to deal with the surge of migrants at the southern border next month. Americans received 4.7 billion robocalls last month, according to call blocking company UMail. Today, the Federal Trade Commission announced a new crackdown on 3 robocall companies, hitting them with millions in fines. The joint state and federal enforcement also target several operations that authorities say were using robocalls to sell everything from bogus credit card interest rate reduction services to fraudulent money-making opportunities and medical alert systems.
When there's a crackdown or an enforcement action, you see fewer robocalls from the people who were cracked down on. They usually stop. The challenge is they're replaced by someone else who often does the same scam.
The government recently gave phone companies more power to stop robocalls from reaching our phones, but it is not clear when that will go into full effect. So for now, expect those spam calls to continue. A new event center is under construction at Bob Amos Park in Pikeville. The Bob Amos Event Center will serve as a community center for weddings, events, and more. It will also be ADA compliant and will have a balcony which will double as an overlook. City Manager Philip Ellswick said the event center will be under the management of the Appalachian Wireless Arena. He said all booking will go through their website once it begins next February.
It's visible from US 23. You're beginning to see the retaining walls come out of the ground. The utility work is ongoing, and the project's on schedule, so it should be open by the end of the year.
Contractors from Rising Sun Developing say anyone wishing to check out the overlook will have to wait until construction is complete. They say it is currently closed to the public and should be considered a safety hazard. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, seeing more snakes this year. Find out why that might be the case.
And those temperatures will be on the rise as we head into the end of the work week and into the weekend as well. But what about those rain chances? I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.
This Saturday brings